I remember what this is all about now. I saw this as a child, perhaps 10 or 12, on a children's television channel. Every week, the captain leading his undead pirate crew on their mission to capture a young orphan girl, Tony Bell. The pirates always called her the boy. They wanted her. Why? Something to do with the moon, I don't know. It would start on their ship each time as the captain gave a grandiose speech to the crew, the first mate giggling and making moronic remarks. The worm who lived in the captain's eye socket would sometimes interject, breaking the fourth wall, cracking wires to the viewer at the pirate's expense. The captain would finish and they would all cheer, chanting, "Cheese, cheese, cheese." Always the same animation, a cheap cut and paste job, cutlasses and flintlocks raised to the night sky, then off on their latest scheme. One week, in disguise as merchants covering their bodies with expensive clothes, they tried to lure the boy into a trap from the marketplace. Another week they kidnapped her faithful pet pug Emmy from her bedside, planning to capture her at the ransom spot. Another time dressed as women who ran a bathhouse, a prospective adoptive family. Always the schemes would be foiled, the boy always too smart, lucky, elusive. It troubled me only Emmy could see through the pirates' disguises. No wig or costume could plausibly cover the flayed rat skulls they had for heads. Their bony, eyeless faces, green flesh, the bodies perpetually aflame. Cartoon logic. He frightened me, though I admired the captain. He had style, a smooth, purring voice, aristocratic, gentlemanly. Such clever, wicked schemes. So smartly dressed, his flame was handsome and bright. Beside the short and round first mate, a Smee, always stupid, bumbling, preoccupied with food. His incompetence often led to the boy escaping. In the end, the boy would get safely to shelter at one of her kindly uncle's homes. She seemed to have endless uncles, each one with a different idiosyncrasy, play for laughs. I remember now, looking up at the captain stood over me, viscerally real cadaver dressed in only a crumbling bandolier. The stench of burning flesh thick in my nose, unbearable, I wanted to vomit. His deep blue gas-fire luminescence bursting into gouts of orange flame in the wind. Something dark and like gristle fell from his crotch, landing beside me. I rolled backwards to avoid his lunge, his grasping claws of black bone. Missing me, the blow hit the deck, splintering the partially carbonized wooden planks, sending up a cloud of ash and charcoal dust. Small things shaken loose from his skull fell over me, in my hair, mouth, maggots. He howled then. Howled? A screeching, chittering, rattling, squealing. That noise. No, I can't. I scrambled away out of the cabin onto the open deck. The crew were out there gathered, a conflagration of decomposing flesh, black, purple, green, rancid meat chattering, squealing in mindless anger, coming toward me. I don't know how I evaded them all. It doesn't seem real. I remember one lunging for me, half-chewed and abscess-ridden flaccid breasts trailing. I struck at her then, but she was like stone, unbalanced me, falling backwards into the open galley, expecting them to follow. Crouched on the edge, looking down, they did not. Why? Fear of something huge, something terrible, hungry. The first mate, lumbering apparition, gluttony lurking in the dark. The gigantic Smee took me in his fist, dragged me towards his mouth. I expected to die then. I could feel things writhing under his flesh. Then angry barking. Emmy appeared biting at his thick ankles. It dropped me. The boy was there, leading me away by the hand. Looking back, I saw the first mate rip poor Emmy in two, greedily sinking his fangs into the still-living dog's guts. How did we escape the burning ship? In my mind, there's a jump cut here. Doesn't make sense. Something I must have forgotten. I remember later that day going to bed, safe at the home of one of the boy's elderly uncles, a stately stone building with heavy wooden doors. We'd eaten well, then gone to our separate rooms for the night. Yes, that's it. Before I slept there was banging at the house door, heavy iron door knocker thudding urgently. I went to fetch the boy so that we could see who was there. She was naked, bent over a bed, while her uncle frigged her roughly from behind with his thick digits, something like that. She dressed and came with me. As we approached the door there, I knew it was the pirates come knocking for us. I tried to warn, stop her, but she would not listen, reassuring me it was safe, unlocking the door to a masked pirate crouching there, fleshly skinned human face hanging loosely over its own, a long curly blonde bloody scalp for a wig. She tried to ask what it wanted before it pounced, pinning her to the floor. The door flew open and the crew poured in, dragging the two of us out onto the moor. In the dark, they ripped away her dress as she screamed and screamed. I remember now the captain lifting her thin body with one blackened paw, as with the other he grabbed her genital cluster, digging in his claws, piercing, pulling hard. Fleshy tubes torn away from the body snapped like weak elastic, silenced. Throwing her limp body to the floor, he held the severed penis and balls up to the heavy moon, in silhouette glowing blue. He howled, as he had before, now the whole crew in chorus, this time triumphant. Such noise No. I tried to cover my ears, to look away. Couldn't move, couldn't break the grip they had me in. When they finally stopped howling, the captain turned and looked at me, stepping over the boy's still body, stalking closer. I woke then, shivering cold in sweat-soaked bed, unfamiliar heat between my legs.